Hello and welcome back to Apt for You. In this particular video, we are going to discuss a new problem from greedy algorithms. Now, this problem is really very important, and people have a lot of confusion regarding this particular problem because if you read this particular problem, the problem statement is not that clear, okay? So that you can understand it in the first sight itself. There are some exceptions, few people can understand it in the first go, but for majority, it is basically a big challenge. So the main objective of this video will be basically to decode the problem statement to make you understand what the problem is actually about. We will be discussing the algorithm we are going to follow for solving this particular problem, and finally I will be showing you how to code this particular problem, right? So we will be following all the three steps. So without further delay, let us quickly start our discussion. So this is the problem taken from Spoj, right? And the problem is basically about chocolate. Chocola. The name of the problem statement is Chocola, chocolate. Now let me be very specific to discuss about what the problem actually says. So in the problem you are basically provided with a chocolate bar, okay? So you can assume that this is similar to a dairy milk, right? The Cadbury dairy milk that we basically eat. And you can see that this is basically a rectangular block, right? A rectangular block of chocolate dairy milk, and it has got some columns and some number of rows. So basically it is of size m cross n, where m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns in the grid. So you can see this is basically a chocolate grid, and number of rows is 1 2 3 4, and number of columns is basically 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So this is a 4 cross 6 chocolate Cadbury dairy milk. Now the objective of this particular problem is that we have to basically divide these chocolates into small pieces. Now what would be the dimension of each small piece? 1 cross 1, or you can simply say that, I hope you have seen a dairy milk. So basically this square block, small square block, this small square block, and so on, this small block, or this small square block, and so on. So likewise, I want to basically divide this entire bigger chocolate into smaller square pieces. Suppose I am interested in dividing this among my friends. So basically whenever we are in our hostel or among our friends, whenever we have to eat this chocolate, what we generally do, we divide it into square piece, right? So that is the purpose. Now we are basically going to divide this entire big chocolate into a smaller chocolate of smaller pieces, square pieces, and then I'll be giving each of them to my friend. Anyway, that's something else. So now the challenge is, how do I divide this chocolate? So it is obvious that in order to divide this chocolate uniformly, what will we do? We will be cutting it along the edges. So what are the edges? You can see basically these are the edges. So I can either cut along this edge and then this edge 2, 3. Okay, so you see 1 2 3 4. In 3 slices you got 4 horizontal bars, and then I'll be cutting it vertically. So 1 2 3 4 5. Cool. So now you can see that we have successfully divided our chocolates into small squares, small piece of squares, each of dimension 1 cross 1. Now the logic, what did we do in order to get small squares? In order to get small squares, we made a horizontal cut as well as a vertical cut. So these were the horizontal cuts and these were the vertical cuts. How many horizontal cuts did we make? We made number of, how many rows were there? Basically 4 rows. So 4 minus 1, that is 3 horizontal cut. And how many columns were there? 6. So 6 minus 1, which is 5, and 5 vertical cuts, vertical slice, and 3 horizontal slice, right? So it is sure that 5 plus 3, 8 cuts you have to make on this Cadbury bar to basically generate small chocolate blocks. Okay, to generate small chocolate blocks. How many small chocolate blocks? So m cross n, basically 24 small chocolate blocks you will get, right? 24 small chocolate blocks you will get. How many slices you have to make? 8 cuts. Now let us focus on the next problem. So this is the first challenge that we did, that we have to basically perform 8 cuts on this chocolate bar. And what will be the direction of the cuts? Basically horizontally and vertically, and only along these edges, no other edges. And these edges are basically mentioned, this one, this one, this one, this, and this. So overall it accounts to 8 cuts, 8 edges, right? So now the thing is order of cutting it. order of cutting it. So how many basically edges are there? So basically we have 8 edges like x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 and y1, y2, y3. So we will basically perform cutting in some sequence, right? It can either be this sequence that either first I performed this vertical cuts and then I'll perform the horizontal cuts, or it can be the other way, that first of all you perform the horizontal cuts and then you perform the vertical cuts, right? So how many permutations will be there? Basically this has 8 cuts, so basically 8 factorial, right, permutations. So a huge number of combinations are there. Now why am I interested in this? Because the question strictly mentioned that for each cut there is a specific cost associated with it. Okay, for each cut that you are making, if you are making a cut along this edge, you have to give some cost, you have to incur some cost. Along this edge, this edge, this edge, this edge, along every edges there is a cost associated with it. Now we have to minimize the cost. Okay, you have to basically perform 8 cuts, but in such order that the cost that you are incurring is minimum. Now let's make it more interesting and easy. So I have an example for you. So let us now look into this example, right? So here I have an example for you to make you understand how things are actually working. So suppose this is your Cadbury block that I am provided, and the dimension of this Cadbury block is equal to 4 cross 6, where 4 is the number of rows. You can see 4 rows and 6 columns. Fine. Now we know that in order to convert these Cadbury blocks into smaller pieces, this is what I want, right? Smaller pieces of chocolates. How many cuts we have to do? Basically, we know along 8 edges I have to perform 8 cuts, right? Right, along the 8 edges. Anyway, so the question was, what should be the order of the edges so that I will be basically incurring a minimum cost. Okay, so before focusing on the minimum cost, first of all let us observe what is actually happening while I am cutting the chocolate block. So here is an example. Suppose this is my chocolate block and now I decided to cut this along this edge first. So yeah, let me use this knife suppose, and I have decided to cut this along this edge. So once you separate this edge, once you cut it along this edge, what will be the cost associated? So I will suppose calculating the cost parallelly. So cost will be only one time you rolled your knife, right? Slided your knife. So basically 2 plus. Once you cut it along this edge, how will your chocolate bar look like? This, isn't it? You see, 2 separate blocks. This block is separated from this block because you have cut it along this edge. Fine. Now again you decided to cut this chocolate block. Again you decided to, now since I have to keep on cutting it, so now you are at this point. Now you want to basically cut it, suppose along this edge, along this edge. So basically if I cut it along this edge, one time here, second time here, I have to cut it how many times? 2 times, because now the blocks are separate. You can see this chocolate block was separated from the chocolate block below it, because just before this cut I had performed a cut to separate these 2 blocks. So this cut basically, had separated these 2 chocolate blocks, and hence when I am going to cut it along this edge, I have to perform 2 cuts, one for this, one for this. Point to be noted, right? What will be the cost? The cost of this edge is 2, so it will be 2 into, how many times did you cut? One time above, one time below. 2. Next. Now my chocolate block will look how? It will look like this. You see? First cut, second cut, and this is the output in front of you. Now you have decided basically to cut this chocolate block along this edge, suppose. Now I am going to cut it along this edge. So the moment you cut it along this edge, so what is the challenge? The challenge is, what is the cost of this edge? So basically the cost of this edge you can see is nothing but 1. So 1 here, and again 1 rupees you have to invest to cut this block, because you see these 2 blocks are separate. So cost is 1. How many times? 2 times. 1 for this, 1 for this. Fine. So this is how your chocolate block will look like. You see, you have performed a vertical cut, horizontal cut. Now again you decided to cut it along this edge. So you will basically cut this block, then this block, and then this block, right? 3 times. 3 times. But what is the cost of this edge? The cost of this edge is basically 3. So 3 into 3 times, because you are cutting it 3 times. Fine. How will the block look like now? Like this. Now what is that you have decided? Now I have decided, suppose, to cut it along this edge. Now this is my edge of interest. I want to cut it along this edge. So once you will cut here, second time here, third time here. 3 cuts you have to perform, right? How many times? 3 times. One for cutting this block, then this block, then this block. So along this edge, basically, you are going to perform along this edge. What is the cost of this edge? Cost of this edge is basically 4, and you performed, you just cut it this block first, second this block, third this block, 3, right? Plus, now how will the block become? Block will look like this, right? Because you just had to perform a vertical cut. Now here what is going to happen is, basically, suppose I am now interested to cut it along some specific edge. So let me say that I am going to cut it along this edge now. Yeah, so if you cut it along this edge, sorry, okay, so now you are going to cut it along this edge. So basically you will cut this first, second this, third this. Cost of this edge is how much? Cost of this edge is basically 1, right? 1. So plus 1 into how many times? Once I cut it this block, second time this block, third time this block, because you see this piece is separated from this piece and it is separated from this piece. So you are going to first cut this, lift your knife up, cut this, lift your knife up, cut this 3 times. Plus, now this is how my Cadbury bar will look like. Now again I am interested to cut it along which edge? Suppose this horizontal edge. 1 cut here, 2 cut here, 3 cut here, 4 cut, 5 cut. I hope you got the point. So basically, what is the cost of this edge? The cost of this edge is 4. So again I'll be doing 4 into how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 separate pieces you cut it with this, right? How will the block look like? This. Now again you decided to perform a cut. So which piece I am going to cut right now? I am going to cut it along this edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the cost of this piece? The cost of this piece is basically, this edge is basically 1, right? So again 1 into how many times? 4 times, because 4 pieces I went through. 1 piece, second piece, third piece, 4 piece, right? So 1 into 4. What is the total cost? Total cost now, as per this situation where I just followed this sequence, I was first cutted this second edge, then next second edge, means first I cutted this, then edge with cost 1, edge with cost 3, edge with cost 4, edge with cost 1, again edge with cost 4, again edge with cost 1. I followed this sequence, and the cost will be equal to basically 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 9 plus 12 plus 3 plus 20 plus 4. What is the cost? 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 9 is 17, plus 12 is 29, plus 3 is 32, plus 20 is 52, and plus 4 is 56. What is the cost? The cost is 56. I hope you got the point how the calculation is actually being proceeded, right? Now the question is this the optimal cost? Is this the optimal cost? Is this the minimum cost? Yes or no? The answer is no. You can still reduce the cost of cutting it. Why? You note that you have basically performed a random choice of the edges, right? And one more thing to note is, the first time I used this edge 4, suppose I here you see the first time you use this edge 2, you just have to include this cost once only one time. This 2 was included only one time. And remember, when I was using the cutting the edge 4, which is at this position, right? Where did I use the edge 4? Yeah, at this position. So when you use the edge 4, and that time what was the status of your chocolate bar? You had already divided it into several pieces, and now you are cutting it along this edge. So basically, when I was cutting it along this edge, I think where is the edge 4? Yeah, this one, sorry. This was the edge cost 4, right? This one, this edge. So right now, what is the status? The status is that this block is separate from this block, and this block is separate from this block. So basically, right now when I asked you to cut along this edge, then you just use 3 times. 1 time here, second time here, 3 times here. So 4 cross 3. 4 cross 3 was the cost. You see, this basically increased, isn't it? 12. Okay. So one solution is, what if we would have used this particular edge? What if we would have cut along this edge initially, in the beginning itself? Suppose in the beginning itself, instead of cutting along the edge 2, what if I cut along the edge 4? So if I cut along the edge 4, so if I just cut along the edge 4, how many times do you think I have to include 4? Only once. So compare this cost 4 with this cost 4 3 times. Obviously you can get an idea that the edges which has larger cost associated with it should be basically used first. Why? Because in the later stages of the problem we see that the chocolate bars keep on dividing and disintegrating. More pieces are increased, isn't it? The number of pieces increases. Right now I have only one piece, so I will just roll my knife only one time. 4 into 1, right? Again next time I will be cutting along this edge, 4 into 2, right? Because once this has been used, this has cut into 2 parts, and then this 4 into 2. So basically the idea to solve this particular problem is use the higher edges in the initial stages. Okay, cut along the higher edges in the initial stages and follow the descending order of cutting. So what's the question is, so this was 56, right? And this is not optimal. So question is, what should be the sequence? The sequence should be descending order of edge cost. Okay, descending order of edge cost. Now next challenge is, how will you keep track of how many pieces are left? These values, how will you keep track of this? So the answer is very simple. After you see, just observe what is happening. So I hope you're getting the intuition. After you are performing a vertical cut, so I just performed a horizontal cut, right? After you performed a horizontal cut, the number of pieces along the y-axis increased. 1, 2, or you can say vertical parts increased. Vertically how many pieces are there? 2 parts. So whenever you are performing a horizontal cut, the vertical parts increases. Now vertically you have 1 part above, 1 part below. Next time I will be performing a vertical cut. So whenever I am performing a vertical cut, means along this edge, you see the number of horizontal pieces increases. So horizontally you have this piece and this piece, right? Horizontally this one and this one. Again you are performing a horizontal cut along this edge. So what will happen? Along this edge, vertical cut. So if you perform vertical cut along this edge, you see number of pieces horizontally increases. You see number of pieces increased horizontally. Right now it had 2 pieces, now it became 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3, right? Again you perform the vertical cut. Right now how many pieces are there horizontally? 1 piece and 2 pieces are there. But the moment you perform a vertical cut, this will lead to how much? 3 pieces. 1 piece, 2 piece, and these 3 separate pieces. So 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece separate. I hope you're getting the point. So we will keep track of 2 variables, the horizontal part and the vertical part. Please keep in mind, the horizontal part will be incremented by 1 whenever I will be performing a vertical cut, because whenever I am performing a vertical cut, like in this case, whenever I am performing a vertical cut, the number of pieces horizontally increases, right? Like 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts. You can see right now it had 2 parts, 1 part and 2 part. But after you perform the horizontal cut, you are dividing it into 3 separate parts horizontally. Got the point? And whenever I am cutting it horizontally, if I am cutting it horizontally, you are increasing the number of parts vertically, because right now you see you had only 1 part, 1 chocolate bar vertically. Now if I cut it along this edge, I will be having 1 separate, second separate. So 1 separate, second separate. You see, count increased, right? So I hope you are getting the point. This is the intuition. Few things to keep in mind, that I will basically sort the sequence in descending order, because I know that if I keep the larger edge cost for the later stages, then I have to incur more cost, because the number of pieces increases in the later stages. So better the higher edge cost should be used initially for cutting. That is what I am doing. And the lower edge cost should be kept for the later stages. That is where the greedy approach is being used, okay, to optimize the solution. I hope you're getting the point. And to keep track of the horizontal part and the vertical part, we are using 2 variables. Fine. So let us now try to code that specific problem. So the screen looks very, it looks like we have done a lot of job. Anyway, so let us quickly rub the screen. Cool. Now I am basically going to show you the working. So what I am going to do is basically, I'll be writing the code. What is the code? The code says that you have received m and n, where m is the number of rows, n is the number of columns. I have just received m and n as input. Done. Now number of rows rows is another variable which will be equal to m minus 1. Why? Because you see, I will be focusing on the number of edges along x-axis horizontally, sorry, 1 2 3. So although the number of rows is 4, but the number of edges that along which I will be using my knife is only 3. So 4 minus 1. Similarly, along the y-axis, number of columns is 6, but the number of edges along which you are going to use your knife is only 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5, isn't it? Cool. That is why I will be using two variables, that is rows and columns, which will keep track of the number of edges along the horizontally and number of vertical edges. Okay, so let me write it here only. So rows basically is horizontal edges and columns basically indicates vertical edges. Great. So now it's time to input or receive as input the values of these edges, right? The edge cost associated with it. So you can see the number of rows are basically stored in ROWS, rows, and columns in cols variable. So I have to declare two arrays, HS and VS. So HS indicates horizontal slides. Okay, so please keep in mind horizontal slide, and this is basically vertical slide. Fine, so that you will not have any issue in understanding. Anyway, so we know that now we are going to store the edge costs along the horizontal edges. So horizontal edge, how many rows will be there, how many elements will be there? Rows. So HS rows. And vertical edges, how many vertical edges are there? Basically cols. This is the value which is storing. Number of columns minus 1. So I'll be declaring an array VS with cols. Fine. Now what should I do? I should basically receive them as input. So I'll be using a variable I. I'll be running a for loop. Okay, let us use I and j. Fine. Now I'll be running a for loop. I equal to 0, I less than what? Number of rows. I plus plus. Now we know that along the rows what is present? Horizontal slides. So C in HS of I. I hope it's fine. And similarly, I'll be keeping track of the vertical edges. So I equal to not I, this time I'll be suppose using 0, j equal to 0, j less than number of columns, and I'll be performing j plus plus. Great. And what will I store? C in VS of j. Right. So this is what I will store. Now what next? The moment you store these two things, so now let us draw our array. So this is my array, sorry, this and this, right? And what is this array about? So the first array was HS. Suppose okay, suppose I am keeping HS here, HS, and this was VS. Here we are keeping track of what? Rows. The pointer I am using is, suppose here I'll be using I, and here we are keeping track of columns, size is columns, and I'm using j here. Fine. So suppose I gave as input the values here as suppose 2 1 4 3 1, yeah, and suppose here I gave as input 4 1 and 2. So this is what I just did right now, the cost of the edges, right? Now we know that after you receive these values, the first thing that we are going to do is sort the edges, right? Sort the vertical edges as well as sort the horizontal edges, right? Because remember, just now we discussed that we are going to pick up the elements in the descending order, right? So we are just going to sort the edges in descending order. So sort which array? HS. Size of the array is rows, comma, and we are going to sort it in basically descending order, so greater integer. I hope you have understood this. So next what? Next we are going to sort the vertical array, the VS, vertical slides. So I will just writing it as VS. This will be VS, and this will basically be what? Columns, right? The number of elements in this is columns. This is how we sort, and greater integer. Fine. So this is all about sorting. What will happen? The status of your array will be basically 43211, 43211. And what will be the status of this array? The status of this array will become 421, sorting in descending order, 4 2 and 1. Great. What next? Now basically we are going to use the pointers I and j. So what will I do? I will say here that let I equal to 0 comma j is also equal to 0, right? And in order to keep track of the cost, I will say cost is equal to 0. Great. Okay, so we basically have to declare the cost, so I'll be declaring it here. Fine. Now what will I do? I will use a while loop, and I'll say while I is less than, because you see that I is basically pointing to this element right now, j is pointing to this element right now. I will move till the end of this array. What is the size of this array? Rows. And what is the size of this array? Columns. So j will move till columns, I will move till rows. That is why I say while I less than rows and j less than columns. Okay, what will I do? I will see which one of the edge is smaller, the horizontal edge or the vertical edge. Which one of these is smaller? So basically I'll write a line for that, which says that if you find out that the vertical slide edge of I is greater than or equal to horizontal slide of I, not I, j, horizontal slide of j, because in j is sorry for this, vsj hsi. Yes, don't get confused with this, because my j pointer here, basically you see j pointer is basically keeping track of the vs array, the vertical slides. So if I find out that my vertical slide, this 4, right, is greater than the horizontal slide, what will I do in that case? In that case I will pick up the vertical slide. That means I'll perform a vertical cut. So what will I do? I'll perform a vertical cut. So come inside, and since you are performing a vertical cut, so what is happening? So you will first of all say cost plus equal to, what is the cost associated with that particular vertical slide array? Vsj. Because now see, whenever I am comparing these two elements from these two array and I see that both are equal, I'll pick up the element from this array. If it is greater than or equal to this element, I'll pick up the element from vs array. So I'll basically pick up this element, and what is it? Vs of j. Vs of j, the slide cost is 4 into how many parts? So basically that will depend upon, everything is fine so far. Okay, we are comparing which of this is greater. We will pick up that element, we will add it to the cost, but now the point to decide is how many parts are present. So basically if you focus on a chocolate grid, so this is how a chocolate grid looks like. Now suppose these things basically, suppose I'll be using two variable, horizontal part and vertical part. Okay, so vertical part will basically keep track of how many pieces are present from top to bottom. Okay, so vertical part means top to down, how many pieces are there, and horizontal part will keep track of left to right, how many pieces are there. That will make it interesting and easy to understand. So initially when the block is complete, that time my hor part will be how much? 1, and your vertical part will be how much? 1. I hope I given the point. Why? Because initially I have a complete block. Initially what I have a complete chocolate block. So if you have initially a complete chocolate block, number of horizontal parts is how much? 1. Number of vertical part is how much? 1, because this entire is one complete chocolate block. Now whenever I am performing, now as I compared this element with this, whenever I find that vs of j is greater than equal to horizontal of j, vs of j is greater than horizontal of I, I'll pick up this element, means vertical cut, suppose. So I'm going to perform a vertical cut, but now how many times will I cut? That will depend upon the number of, to be vertical part, because vertical part means what? Top to down. So right now you are going to cut it from top to down only, isn't it? Vertical cut. Whenever you are going to perform a vertical cut, you will keep track of the number of parts present from top to bottom. So right now only one part present, so into vertical part. But at the same time, when you cut this particular chocolate block, you increase the number of horizontal parts. Initially only one horizontal part was there, but right now it will divide into two horizontal part, one here, one here. That is why I will write here hor part plus plus. Means we have increased the horizontal parts. I hope you got the point. Else, now whenever, suppose we are performing, now suppose if we perform, now if vs of j is not greater than equal to hs of I, which means you are going to perform a horizontal cut. So this is going to basically say vertical cut. This will perform a vertical cut, and this thing will be performing a horizontal cut. So whenever we are going to perform a horizontal cut, what we are going to say, cost plus is equal to the corresponding horizontal edge hs of I, right, into, now when you are going to perform a horizontal cut, suppose this is your chocolate grid, and right, so whenever you are going to perform a horizontal cut, so it will be cost of the edge. Suppose I am using this knife, I am cutting it along the horizontal side, and it will depend upon what, vertical parts, right? Because suppose I have chocolate blocks separated like this, suppose now if I am cutting it along this edge, so cost of this into number of parts vertically, that is why I will write here number of parts horizontally, right? Number of horizontal parts, how many parts are there along the horizontal? Horizontal means what? Left to right. Left to right I have 2 parts, right? That is why this will be keeping track of horizontal parts. How many parts are there horizontally? And you know that whenever you are performing a horizontal cut, what will increase? The number of vertical pieces will increase, right? So vertical part plus plus, vert part plus plus. I hope this part is clear. Please don't get confused with this, right? A small, we were just getting confused with the convention, but things are very easy. See, I'll be just repeating once again for the last time. So what we were doing is, after sorting, we have these elements. I'll keep I pointer here and J pointer here. I'll compare this element with this element. If I found that this element is greater than or equal to this element, which means I'm going to perform a vertical cut. Now whenever you're going to perform a vertical cut, it is obvious that the number of horizontal pieces will increase. You know that, right? Because if this is a single chocolate bar, I'll cut it along this, then I'll be making it 2 chocolate bars along the horizontal axis. So hor part plus plus. But before incrementing the hor part plus plus, what we are going to do is, we are going to see that, what we are going to see, now if I am cutting the chocolate block vertically, okay, then how many blocks I have to go through. So that means you just see that how many blocks are present at that instant from top to bottom. Suppose I have chocolate block like this, before, suppose I have cut it into 2 horizontal slides. Now this is the status of the chocolate bar. Now if you are going to cut along this edge, so you will cut this one and this one. So how you are keeping track of this count? Basically the number of vertical parts, number of what, when you are performing a vertical cut, you are keeping track of the number of vertical parts. Vertically I have 1 piece here, 2 piece here, 3 piece here, top to bottom, how many pieces are there? So cost of this edge into how many pieces are there from top to bottom right now. So right now only 3 pieces are there, that will be multiplied here. And since you are performing a vertical cut, the number of blocks along the horizontal increases, that is why hor plus plus. Else if you are going to perform a horizontal cut, now we know that if suppose I have a chocolate block like this, 3 chocolate blocks, and this is the edge, and now if I cut along this edge, I'll be cutting once here, second time here, third time here. So it depends upon the number of horizontal parts. So number of horizontal parts into the cost of the edge, and when you are cutting it along horizontally, you are basically incrementing the number of blocks in vertical axis, because after you cut along this axis, what will happen? The status will be like, so suppose this chocolate block, you cut it along this axis, how will it look like now? Like this, isn't it? See, so basically you incremented the number of blocks vertically. That is why I said vertical part plus plus. So I hope this particular part is clear, crystal clear, right? No issue with it. Fine. So what next? So this was basically, vertical plus plus, right? So vertical part plus plus. Cool. What next? So this will be repeated, because right now we know that our we had an array vertical S, and the elements were, after sorting, were 4 3 2 1 1, and horizontal S had elements called 4 2 1, right? Yes. So initially my I is pointing to this, J is pointing to this, so I picked up this. Now if you pick up this, you will perform all the necessary calculation here, and you will be including it into cost, right? So basically initially what will be my cost? So let me just show you the diagram here. So now I'll be opening the actual process. Fine, you can see this. So this is my block now. So I have basically performed the sorting operation. So I have my vertical. So let me just use this pen, right? Yeah, so please don't get confused, things are very simple whatever we are going to do now. So vertical cut, so this is the vertical slide. After sorting, what did we get? We got 4 3 2 1 1. Great. Horizontal slide, what did we get? 4 2 and 1. Great. So what next? Now basically we are going to keep I here, J here. I hope you kept in mind. Comparing these two, what did we select? This one. The moment you select this edge from here, what we are going to do? We are going to perform a cut along this edge. See, we performed a cut. What was the cost? The cost is equal to 4. Only once into 4 into what number of vertical parts? And what is the number of vertical part? Only 1. Plus. Next time, your J will increment to this point. J will point here. So J is no longer here. J is pointing to the next number. Now comparing I with J, which is greater? I is greater. So now you will perform a horizontal cut by picking up this edge. So perform a horizontal cut by picking up this edge 4. This edge 4. So I will perform a cut here. Now when you are going to perform a cut here, you see, we will include the cost of this edge into the number of horizontal parts. How many horizontal part was there? 2. Why? Because previously when I used a vertical cut, the horizontal cut was increased by 1. Because you had this part and this part separate. That is why this part separate, this part separate. So 4 into 2. 4 into 2. Plus. Now this I will increment to this one. Again comparing I with J. Which one of them is smaller, greater? 3 is greater. So again you are going to perform a vertical cut. Vertical cut on which? Vertical cut on this particular block. Okay, so basically this is the vertical edge I am going to pick. So I will perform a cut along this. So when you are going to perform a cut along this, we are going to include the cost, that is 3 into how many parts are now since I am going to perform a vertical cut. So what will I decide? How many parts are there present along the vertical axis? So one part this, second part is this. 2 parts, right? Remember previously we performed a horizontal cut, so the number of parts along the vertical increased. So this and this, so 3 into 2. So this was kept track by the vertical part, var part. The variable var part will keep track of this. Plus, now this J pointer will point to this variable, this value, and I is pointing to this. So if they are same, we know that we will pick this edge only, 2. So what will happen? Again I will perform a cut along this edge. So when you cut along this edge, the cost will be again 2 into number of parts vertically, 1 and 2. 2 plus. Now what we are going to do? J plus plus means pointing to this one and I is pointing to 2. So what will you pick? You will pick 2. So you are going to pick 2 again, means horizontal 2. So horizontal 2 means which one? This one. So I will be cutting along this axis now. So if I cut along this axis, the cost is 2 into how many horizontal parts are present. So when you are cutting out along horizontal axis, you will be keeping in mind how many horizontal parts are present. So 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 parts. So 2 into 4 plus. So obviously this is done. So now I is pointing to this and J is pointing to this one. So again you will pick up 1 from here, vertical cut. So vertical cut I will be performing, so which means I will basically perform a vertical cut. So let me just rub this. So now you will perform a vertical cut along what? Along some axis. So which is the axis? Let me show you. So remember we just performed a horizontal cut, it's fine. Now we are going to perform a vertical cut, but this time along which axis? So vertical cut will be along, so let me just, okay, so we cut this, after we just cut this, we got this, right? And after we got this, we are going to perform a cut, and that cut will be along this edge. So we will cut along this edge. Now what is the cost of this edge? The cost of this edge is nothing but 1. So 1 into what is the number of I am cutting it vertically, so I will keep track of the number of var parts. So var parts are 1, 2 and 3. So 1 into 3, right? Plus, so after you cut this, after you cut it through this edge, what is the output? This is the output, right? Now J has incremented to the next point, this one. Again I, J are equal, so again you perform a vertical cut. So again I am performing a vertical cut. So what I am going to pick up is basically this one right now. Yes, so I'll pick up this one. So I'll cut it along this. The moment you cut it along this, what is the cost associated with this edge? 1 into, since I am cutting it vertically, so how many vertical parts are there? 1, 2 and 3. 1 into 3 plus what will be the equivalent output? The equivalent output will be like this. Alright, so this is the equivalent output, and right now you will find out. So you will find out that, let me just edit this diagram. So this is actually present here, final, but before this you will be having this. Yes, so see, just now I performed a vertical cut, right? Means I have cut it along this edge, so basically along this edge the things will be separated along this edge. So let me just separate them, which means this will be separated like this. So it takes a lot of hard work, but it's worth. Fine. So you can now notice, after I performed a vertical cut, the cost was 1 into how many vertical parts are there? 3. So I just included it. Now I'll get this chocolate bar. Now this time finally I am going to pick up this one. So I'll perform a cut along which edge? Along this edge. Final cut along this edge. So again I'll say 1 into how many? Now I'm cutting it along horizontal axis. So how many horizontal parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Done. Finally you have successfully found out small pieces, square pieces. Now what is the cost? The cost is 4 plus 8 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 4 is 22, plus 8 is 36, 4 plus 8 is 12, right? 12 plus 6 is 18, 18 plus 4, 22, right? So far 22. Now 22 plus 8 is 30, 30 plus 3 is 33, 33 plus 3 is 36, and 36 plus 6 is 42. Cool. So you can see the cost has decreased. Initially in the previous approach, when I was doing it randomly, the cost was somewhat 56, right? But now the cost has reduced to 42. So I hope you have understood the algorithm that I am doing, right? So if you have understood the approach, you can continue coding. Otherwise you can just continue watching this lecture, where I am just going to show you the working, show you how to code it, right? So the video is a bit longer, I can understand, but we don't have any other options. We have to make it clear from the scratch. Fine. So this is what we are doing. I hope you understood that Vs of j, Hs of I, and including the vertical parts, that's fine so far. But there might be a case when some elements will be left. So we have to copy those elements, right? So while I less than rows. So while I less than rows, we should write something, and that is basically. Let me just show you why am I doing this case. Basically you might come up now, since you see that we are basically having two arrays, right? We have one array above, one array below, and the array, this one is Vs, this is Hs. So if they are of equal size, then no problem with it. That is, if the number of vertical slides and the number of horizontal slides are same, then no problem with it. But you can see that this is, you having a different pointer j, and it has a different pointer I. Now what if suppose it has only two elements here? Suppose it has only two elements here. Suppose it had, basically you can say 5 and suppose 4, right? And it had 4, and then it has 4, 3, 2, 1, something like this. So what will happen in this case? You know that you will pick up, you are comparing this with this, and first of all you see that this is greater, so you will pick up this edge and perform the operation, which is that nothing but this part, right? And your I will increment to this point. Now you are here. Now you compare that this to this, and you see that both are equal, so basically you will pick this element. Again your j pointer will come here. Again you will compare this with this, and what will you pick? This element, because they are equal, so you pick up from Bs only. Now your j pointer comes to 3, and your I pointer is here 4, so which will you pick? We will pick basically this element. You will perform a horizontal cut. Now you see your this array has been exhausted, because I has basically traversed all the elements, and your j pointer is still into this part. So what do you think? Don't you think we have to complete these operations? And these operations are nothing but the cut corresponding to these operations, isn't it? That is why what we are going to do is, we are going to use a while loop, and this will basically be j, and j less than what? J less than, basically, let us say I less than what? I less than, because keep in mind that j pointer was used in this array, I was pointer was used in this array, right? So what is this? The number of rows. So I less than rows is fine, I less than rows, okay. And what here we are going to do is basically, for this particular row, what is the operation that we are performing? For whenever we are performing a horizontal cut, what are the operations that we perform? So this is the operations that we perform whenever we do a horizontal cut. That is why for the rest of the elements, if any, in this row, what you will do, you will perform these operations. Done. And you will also say I plus plus, keep on increasing, right, because you're traversing it. There might be other possibility which says that while j is less than cols, which is seen here, that your j pointer is still pointing to 3 and it is still less than cols, number of columns. So you will basically start from j wherever it is till columns, right? So j less than columns, and you know that now whatever edges are left, all those are vertical edges. So you will performing a vertical cut, right? And for performing a vertical cut, what is the code? This is the code that we do, isn't it? These things we perform. So this is the same thing you are going to copy and paste here, right? And I hope you are by now familiar at what is actually happening here. Done. So that's it, we are doing this, and again you should increment j pointer here, j plus plus. Done. And finally what should we return? We should return the output, that is nothing but count, right? Sorry, not count, cost. Cout cost, because the entire cost is being computed and variable is there. Okay, fine. So let us see whether this problem works fine, because we have covered everything in detail and the code is exactly complete. So let me just compile and run the code. Alright, but before compiling, I want to just do one thing. You see here basically we are using a while loop wherein the I should move till rows and j should move till columns, and inside the if loop or the else block we are not incrementing I and j, and that is something wrong, right? We should increment it, I plus plus, and increment this j also, j plus plus, right, isn't it? So because we are actually incrementing the pointers of the corresponding array, right? Sorry, this should be j plus plus, right? Because for corresponding to this vs array, corresponding to the element in vs, what we pointer we have j, and corresponding to the element in hs we have I pointer. So I pointer will increment here. Yes. Let us compile and run now. So if we just compile and run now, suppose the number of rows are 4, number of column is 6, and we have to input only 3 elements, right? Remember, because only 3 edges are there in horizontal axis. So 4 1 2, and vertically suppose I have 4 1 2 3 1. The output is 42, right? So I hope you got the intuition. Now please don't get confused at why I am entering 4 and giving only 3 elements, because remember the rows will be equal to n minus 1 and columns will be equal to n minus 1, right? And this is what I have used for the size of the array. So I could have done this directly, but I have just written here. I'll modify it later. Anyway, so this is what actually you can see that how is the code actually performing, right? Because the output is 42 and this is what we received while we are performing in working, the dry run. That is what we had received, right? So I hope this particular problem was helpful, right? It is long, but yes, we have covered it in complete detail, and I hope we have not left any stones unturned for this particular problem, right? So this is the entire code finally that we are doing. The explanations, the working, everything I have explained. So I hope it was helpful. In case of any doubt, please feel free to put it out in the comment section. Just like, share and subscribe. Thank you.